Hello friends, this is Akshay. Welcome to TeKnowledgeek. Today we will cover pig scripting in the Big Data Interview question series. If you have missed the previous part of this series, please check the playlist. If you do not want to miss the upcoming lessons in this series, please subscribe my channel and don't forget to click on the bell icon. Let's start and please watch till the end. So, if you talk about Apache Pig, so Apache Pig is a platform for analyzing large datasets that consist of a high-level language for expressing the data analysis programs coupled with the infrastructure for evaluating these programs. The salient property of the Pig program is that structure is amenable to the substantial parallelization, which in turns enable them to handle very large data set. So the first question you may face is, what are the execution modes in Pig script? So in the latest version, as you can see, the Pig has 6 execution modes. So latest version as per the Apache Pig documentation is version 17. That includes local mode, map reduce mode, Tez mode, Spark mode, and the Tez and Spark in local mode. And as you know, there is 2 or 3 different ways to run the Pig script. One is the interactive mode, what we use while development, so that is grunt shell, and second is batch mode, where you write a file with all the scripts and save it as commonly as a .pig file and run it as a script file. And third is that create a user defined function. You can say, for example, what is most common is piggy bank. So that is embedded mode. As I can show you what version I am using, I will start my tutorial with the version of the grunt shell. You see, I am not using version 17. I am using version 8 only. So let me check what are the execution mode I have. So to check that, you just run for help. And you can see, using the -x option, you can have the 2 mode of execution. One is local mode, another is map reduce mode. Let's see how you can write them. Just clear out and you can type like this: pig-x local and you see the grunt shell is started. To come out of the grunt shell, you need to type Control D. And again you can clear it and you can run pig in map reduce mode, which is the default one. Yeah. So If you are in the version 8 like me, you have only 2 modes, and if you are in the version 17, which is the latest one, that will be like having all the 6 modes. Let's go back, and you can see all the modes are applicable both in the interactive mode, I mean Grand Shell, and in the batch mode using the script file. The next question you may face: how can we load, transform and store data in Pig script? We will face this question using a small file of student information having the fields student ID, first name, last name, age, phone number and city in a comma separated file having all these fields, and then we will load it and transform it and get only the name of the student to be outputted in a output file. Let's begin with this example. First we will check the file, and my file is a comma separated file stored in my local system using the name student.txt in my home directory. And now I want to load this file using the grunt shell. So to come out of the grunt shell, you know the command is, the shortcut is Control T, and I just cleared my shell, and then I go to the grunt shell using the pig command. And now I want to load my file using the load command. So I have load and then file name, and then just put semicolon to end of the command. And now if you want to see the schema, you have describe A. And now you know the schema for A is unknown because you have not mentioned any field names, and there is no header in the file, and you don't know what is the field you are looking for. So I just modify it to have some schema. So the keyword is as, and then within bracket I have student ID, and then first name, and then last name, and then age, and then cell number, and then city. Now if I just describe A, I will get my schema like SID, FNAME, LNAME, but all are having the same data type, that is byte array. So this is the default data type Pig gives to each fields. To change that, you need to mention your data type when you are describing your schema. So again I will go and I will mention like SID will be integer, FNAME will be char array, and last name will be char array, and age will be char array, and cell number will be, age can be an integer, and cell number char array, and city can be again a char array. And then if I put it, I can get the describe A having the all the different data types. So let's have this command copied somewhere. We can use it in my pig script file. So, and now if I want to have the data, so I can write dump a, that is show the data. It will take some time, but let's watch. So you can see here it failed to read data from the input file and failed to produce the output. So what could be the reason? The reason is we opened the ground shell in the MapReduce mode, that is the default mode. As we have opened the ground shell in the MapReduce mode, it failed to read the data from the local file server. So we need to open the ground shell using the local execution mode. Let's come out of the ground shell. We have the command Control D, and then I will clear my screen and I will again go to the pig using local mode. Yeah, now we will run the same command. Just copy it and see what happened. And if I just describe a, yeah, and now if I just dump a, it will take some time. I kept only the 9 rows because of this timing. Yeah, so you can see it successfully read the records from this file, the student.txt, and successfully stored the records in the temporary file. But you can see all the data is blank. Why it happened? Because it can read the file, but it cannot read the file as a text file. So to read this file as a structured text file, we need to use some load and store function. So the load and store function is pig storage, or you can say the JSON storage, or you can say the bin storage. So these are the load and store function. We'll use the something here as well. So just we want to modify our command and write using pig storage. Yeah. And let's rerun this command. And again dump a. It takes some time. Let's watch. Yeah, again it produced the null records because the default delimiter is tab. So to give it, I need to mention like the comma is my delimiter. So I give comma as my delimiter and run this again. And then I just write dump a and see what happened. Bingo, we have our data in the bags. So you see the first bracket closing and opening, these are my bags. So we have all the data in one record in one bag. Now let's take the um, first name out of it. So if I just write b is equal to for each a generate first name, so it will take only the first name. So if I just dump b, I will get the data. Yeah, you can see the first name there. So I have written b for a, each a generate f name. Copy it and I paste it here. Why I'm doing it, I will tell you later. And then I want to store it. So store b. If you want to see, you forgot something, if it is in or into, you just put tab. So you can say what is the exact command. So it's an helper. So store b into, you can mention the file name like home. It's not file name, it's the folder name, and file is the part file. And I just put semicolon to end of the command. It will take some time. Let's watch what happened. Yeah, it produced success. So output successfully stored the record in my student first name directory. Let's see what is my student first name directory. So we have a success file. This is just a the flag file, and I just open the part file and display. So it has all the fields. Now I want to have my first name and last name both. So what I need to do, I just need to generate first name comma last name. So same here. And you can always check what's my B schema. Yeah, and then you can store B into student underscore name. Okay, so student underscore name already exists. So I just want to go and Cloudera and student underscore name and just delete it. Delete it as well. Delete it as well. Yeah. Again, try to run the same command. So now we have first name and the last name both. And let's see what's the delimiter it put, because I have not mentioned any delimiter. Okay, so ignore this message. I have just put a slash at the end, but you can see the successfully stored record in the student underscore name file. Go to Cloudera, go to student underscore name, and see this part file has created, and it has the first name and last name both. But what's the delimiter? Oh, the default delimiter is tab. So let's go back and give the delimiter. And now you know, if you want to give the delimiter, you need to use the big storage. So you need to write here the store B into student underscore name using Pig storage and put the comma as a delimiter if you want to. But you know the student underscore name already exists, so you need to go back to Cloudera and delete it. Now if you want to run it again, just run it again. Try to read the log it is generating because it may give many answers to the interview questions. Yeah, you can see that it successfully written the file in this folder. So let's go back and check it again. It has the part file and I just want to display, and I just reloaded. Yeah, you can see the comma is now the delimiter. Now if I want to run it as a script file, what I need to do? So just have it in a file and copy it and paste it here. Yeah, so you have all 3 lines of your code in this file and just you want to save it, and you can write a name like student.pig. It's not necessary, but it's a convention, and you can just save it. Yeah, now if you want to clear up the ground shell, what you need to write? The shortcut is Control L. And now if you want to come out of the ground shell, what you need to write? Control D. Yeah, now I came out of my ground shell. What I need to write to run a script file? So I need to write pig, and you remember that I have to run it using the local mode because I am reading a local file and writing to a local file. So -x local and then my script file name. You see the student underscore name already exists. So this issue I am creating again and again because you need to remember all those things. So you need to delete it and remember it will not overwrite by its own. Just clear the shell and run it again. It will take some time. Always try to read the job tracker and the task tracker information provided in this log. It will be very helpful to debug any issue. And you see it successfully stored the records in the student name and successfully reading the data in this file. And you see this is my job DAG in the local mode. So just go to Cloudera and student name and open it. You can hear the part file and it's having the data as you expected. Thank you so much for watching. We will continue this pig interview session in the next part.